So, today we shall read about the sentences, phrases, and clauses. What do you mean by a sentence? A group of words that makes complete sense is called a sentence. The words in a sentence must be in a proper order, which helps to make complete sense. At 8 o'clock to school goes Mary. Jumbled words. Mary goes to school at 8 o'clock. We eat every day. This is a sentence. The birds sky. So, is it a complete sentence? No. Why? The birds sky. If we write this, then it cannot express the complete meaning. So, if we shall add the birds fly in the sky, fly in the sky, then it is called one complete sentence. So, like this, rewrite the jumbled words to form sentences and punctuate. Drawing a picture are we. So, we have to write, we are drawing a picture. Want to go to bed, do you? Do you want to go to bed? To watch the sky, I like night. I like to watch the sky. Night. I like to watch the night sky. The mango tree, to climb going I am. I am going to climb the mango tree. Very sharp is this knife. Oh, this knife is very sharp. Play me pet I with. I play with my pet. Then comes the pant shirt made the tailor. The tailor made the pant shirt. Like this. Then comes subject and predicate. Subject is usually first part of the sentence that tells us about the person or thing about which the sentence is. Predicate is the part of the sentence that talks about the subject. It includes the verb and the object. So here we can see that we eat every day. This is the subject. Without this, it can't be a sentence. So the first part that which we use is called the what? Subject. And the other part is called the predicate. The birds fly in the sky. So the birds here is subject, and the other part, that verb part and other words, they are called the predicate. Subject and predicate. So, predicate is the part of the sentence that talks about the subject. It includes the verb and the object. Both the subject and the predicate can be single word or a group of words. Dogs bark. Dogs subject, bark predicate. Raw mangoes and vegetables are used to make pickles. Raw mangoes and vegetables subject, and the other part predicate. Jessie, my best friend, sat on the stage with the guests. So, Jessie, my best friend, subject. And other part, predicate. Underline the subject in each sentence. My house is on a busy road. The peacock is a proud bird. You can do them easily. Tomorrow, Sandra will go to school at 9 o'clock. Tom and Sam go to school at 8 o'clock. Michael Jackson was a famous singer and dancer. The brain is the controller of the human body. Diamond is the hardest substance on the earth. Then come phrases and clauses. Let us see the various steps that lead to a sentence. The smallest part of the written English language is the letter A, B, C, capital letters, and A, B, C, and so on. A group of letters forms a word: play, happy, table, glass, butter, bread, and so on. So, words are formed with the letters. That letters you know, these are the letters A, B, C, D, E, F. These are the letters. Then we can make words that play. P-L-A-Y. Eat. E-A-T. Then comes our pray. P-R-A-Y. Tell. T-E-L-L. Then comes, so there are so many words. Then, so a group of words forms a phrase or clause. A phrase and a clause seem to make a little sense, but they do not make complete sense. A group of words that makes complete sense is a sentence. So words are there, and then comes the phrase. A phrase is a group of words that either has no verb or has a non-finite verb. It doesn't make complete sense. It has no subject and no predicate. For example, 3 brave soldiers, birds flying in the sky, to run in the field, playing in the garden, a grown-up boy. So these are called the phrases. They have no verbs. And others are clauses. A clause is a group of words that contains a finite verb and a subject and a predicate, but it doesn't make complete sense. Thus, a clause is a small sentence that forms a part of a larger sentence. For example, the chair which was bought yesterday. The chair which was bought yesterday. So, the chair which was bought yesterday. Yesterday is very nice. Very nice, or you can use costly or cheap, like this. So when we use the chair which was bought yesterday, it is one clause, because here the chair is subject and here the verb is used and the times of adverb is used. So then comes the boy which came first in the race is my friend. The boy that who came first in the race is my classmate. The ring that is made of gold. The ring that is made of gold, that is not cheap. Sentence. He lost the watch that I had given him. Clauses. He lost the watch I had given him. These two clauses are joined by the conjunction that. Sentence. The boys who were in the field could not see him. So, the boys who were in the field could not see him. That the boys could not see him, and then comes who were in the field. The finite and non-finite verb. To know the difference between a clause and a phrase clearly, we must understand the meaning of finite and non-finite verb. Finite verb, when a verb undergoes change because of number, two kinds of numbers, singular and plural, or the time, it is known as a finite verb. For example, Celia goes to school at 8 o'clock. Celia goes. Celia and Nick go to school at 8 o'clock. Yesterday, Gary went to school at 7 o'clock. Tomorrow, Max will go to school at 9 o'clock. So observe these sentences. We see that the verb go changes in each of the sentences. It changes in first and second sentences because the number of the subject changes to singular, to plural. It changes in the third and fourth sentences because the time has changed. That this conjugation of verb. So Celia goes to school. This means this is simple present. Celia and Nick go to school. This is also simple present. And yesterday Gary went to school. Went is the past tense of go. The verb go. Then tomorrow Max will go. That it is in future meaning. Will go. So non-finite verb, when a verb does not change because of number, singular, plural, or the time, it is known as a non-finite verb. Infinitive, present participle and past participle are non-finite verb. For example, you have to learn the poem. Yesterday Mary went to school jogging and jumping. She drank milk in a glass made of silver. So here the two learn, jogging and jumping and mad. These are the words that verbs that they don't change. Then, however, when the present participle or the past participle verb is used along with the helping verb to form the continuous simple part of present tense, it becomes a finite verb. For example, the children were jogging and jumping. In the rainy season, the children made paper boats. The verb is changed here. But non-finite verb, they don't change. So, now you have to do the exercises. Underline the phrases in the following sentences and then underline one clause in each sentence and your lesson is over. So do these exercises attentively. So you have to learn the sentences, the phrases, the clauses, and then comes our finite and non-finite verbs. Then we shall take further. Thank you.